Hey everybody, this is Daniel from DualiWheels.com. Today we're excited to share with you the difference between a traditional front wheel versus the super single. So this truck here is a 2020 Ford F450. The front suspension has a coilover setup. It's the same exact thing as putting a leveling kit on your truck. This is our most popular setup, leveling kit with a 35-inch tall tire. This particular setup is a 35-1250-24 Nitto Recon Grappler, our most popular all-terrain, and it's mounted on a fuel forged wheel. The fuel forged wheels come in either a 20-inch, 22-inch, or a 24-inch. As far as stance, everything is the same depending what diameter you pick. So this is your standard 35-inch setup. So if you can see, this is your standard dually front setup here. Has your inverted concavity wheel in the front. And so what we're going to show you is what a super single looks like. So let's check that out. All right, now we got the vehicle pulled in, so we're going to show you how to remove your standard dually front wheel and convert it to the super single in the front. So the first thing we want to do is get your vehicle pulled in, get it jacked up properly. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing in the air. All right, so now we got our vehicle safely raised in the air. The next thing you'll want to do is grab the correct tools, remove the lugs, and let's get that front wheel off. All right, so now we have our wheel and tire off. So the next step is the part that everybody has a lot of questions on, is we're going to take this front spacer off, okay? Once you take this off, it's not going to affect your load capacity, it's not going to affect your handling or your safety. All we're doing is making a super single front end. So if it's a Ford, it's going to have a standard front end like a non-dually. That's all we're doing, okay? So this spacer, what we found for this particular one is we're using a 21mm shallow socket and a 3-inch extension. And if you come in here, let me show you how we're doing that. So you can see the standard nut here. So we're going to slide our socket over and put our extension right through the front. So we're going to go ahead and get this off and we'll show you how it looks. What we're doing here is putting the super single, which is here on my right, to the non-super single on my left. I want to show you guys the difference, right? Everybody can see the dually wheel has the inverted concavity. Basically, the reason that is that spacer we just removed was taking up that space in the back, right? So by removing the front spacer, which we just did, we're now allowing us to put what they call a super single style in the front. This is just the same wheel that you would put on a big lifted 12-inch wide, 14-inch wide application. It allows you to do that, right? In particular on the Ford, on this truck, this is a 10-on-225 pattern. What's tricky with the dualies is once we take the spacer off, the pattern actually changes. So DualiWheels.com, we have that all figured out. This is a 10-on-170 pattern. Something else interesting is the thread pitch of the lug also changes. So when you buy the package from us, you're going to get all the correct lugs. So we're going to go ahead and put this super single on so you can see what it looks like. All right, so now we got our super single on the front. You can see the big dish in the front. This is the 24x12, so this is your most aggressive fitment you're going to see in the forged line. If you switch over to some of the cast, you can get up to a 14-inch wide. So with the super single setups, always remember that we have different front width options: 9-inch, 10-inch, 11, 12, and 14. Those width options will change depending on the diameter of wheel that you choose. So particular with the fuel forged, we have a 24x12. So let's get it out of the shop and show you guys what it looks like.